say Potts Farm was a place to go. Load a truck up, hit the dirt road, jump the barbed wire, spread the word. Like the king in the can, the Marlboro man. Jack and Jim were a few good men where you learn how to kiss and cuss and fight too. Better watch out for the boys in blue.
Hey there, guys. Well, it's been a while since I've recorded anything, so I kind of picked up a new project here and kind of stepped away from the pipeline stuff a little bit. Been wanting to try to find something where I could stay home and work, but not have to travel so much. It just sucks. But anyway, so yeah, this is this is what I found. So it ended up being a friend of actually my wife's. Her husband owns a company that produces plastics, blown plastics to be exact. So stuff like this plastic sheeting, I mean, all different thicknesses, all different types, and what you see here is all waste. So if they blow a roll that's I don't know, say it's 20 foot wide by 100 foot long, and as they're blowing it, and say it roll at 78 feet, a hole blows in it, then it scraps the whole piece. That's pretty heavy stuff right there. So right here you're looking at close to almost $100,000 worth of blown material that is waste. Now they've already put the money into it. They bought the product. They've had the manpower to blow it into plastic. Anyway, long and short of it, so he was sending all this material out and having somebody repurpose it, return it back into a raw product in order to rerun it. And this is what the raw product looks like. It's a little plastic BB. This particular product here is bad. It's got moisture. If you look at these BBs, focus. These BBs have basically little air bubbles in the middle of them, and there's moisture in them, so it won't run properly. So he bought this machine out of New Jersey. They tore it down and shipped it down here, and this machine takes in the raw product, as you see right here, sends it through a grinder, turns it into basically ground up, and you can see the fines. Turns it into that raw product right there, blows it up into this silo, and then it's got an auger right here that runs it down like this into the main extruder. These are all heater bands right here. They heat that barrel to about 400 degrees, and there's a corkscrew that runs down this barrel, and it's running that plastic. This is the material right here after it's been shredded. It runs it down and compresses it, squeezes it, squeezes it, squeezes it, squeezes it, and then shoots it out into almost like spaghetti strings right here at the final process. It shoots it out, and little knives cut it, and they basically turn it back into pellets. Here's some right here, some failed. Basically, it didn't get watered quick enough and glued itself back together. But anyway, runs it through a water bath, then through a blower to dry it, dumps it into here. This blower runs it up that tube and all the way back down there about 30 feet into a silo that is that last little silo you see right there. And basically takes this raw material and turns it back into a usable product. So hold on, let me get some light. So it turns it back into a usable plastic pellet again. They can now take this pellet and rerun it through their blower machines and create plastics out of it again. So he brought me on and one other guy to assemble this machine, put it together. It was all in pieces. We got it 90%, and and then that's where we found we slowed up on the electrical side of things, and this is why. So here's your control cabinet for this machine. These are all heater bands, heater switches. So these are switches to turn the heaters on, and then these are all your controls for every one of these motors. The problem is this cabinet's been upgraded I don't know how many times. It's got a PLC unit on it. So we're three phase 480 volts, but yeah, trying to figure this thing out has been shooey rat's nest of wiring. Some of it was actually okay. It is better than it looks, but it's not as bad anyway. So yeah, this is kind of, we had a couple of guys on payroll here that so what they do is work on these things. So that's some electrical work done recently. Anyway, so we're getting this thing up and running, and trying to fine tune it right now. And look at the size of that electric motor. I mean, I don't know if you can put it in comparison. That's a 8-foot ladder behind it. Anyway, so along with that, in this new building they recently purchased, which is, can't remember, it's 120 by 100, I think 100 by 120, air conditioned. Yeah. These are the towers that go over the actual plastic extrusion machines. They're planning on putting 6 machines in this building that blow the plastic, basically create this product. So I think actually as early as next week. Anyway, I'll throw some pictures up right here. Started with this once I got it pretty much assembled, and it came down to the final few details and the fine tuning on it. The other 2 guys came in and started helping us with that, and then I kind of moved on to building this stuff right here. Waiting on a materials order right now. Hopefully should be here today, but I had to hook up and wire in. He bought this Kaiser compressor and conditioning unit, and at an auction, and I had to basically figure it out, hook it all up. Once again, 483 phase. This particular compressor will run off a 233 phase as well, but I've got 480 here, so running on 480, a little more efficient. So some upcoming projects coming up is I built this welding table, which is kind of had carte blanche. Build me a good welding table, 1/2-inch plate on top. That is 4-inch, 1/2-inch wall square tubing, and 2 by 3 quarter wall rectangle tubing. Anyway, I have to build another one of these actually. So my boss wants one of these built for his house, and I don't know if you can see it way down there, but there's a whole nother sheet of 1/2-inch plate to build a second one of these tables. I also need a 2x72 belt grinder here, so I have started ordering all the materials. This is a 3-horse 3-phase general duty farm use motor, and a VFD for it, and that's going to be a build coming up pretty soon. I'll try to film a bunch of it. Let me know if y'all want to see this welding table build and what I did to try to maintain the flatness on it. I did pretty good on this one. It's got a little bit of dive off on this end, but for the most part she's pretty flat. Yeah, she's pretty flat. Had to buy me another toolbox, and Well, you can see there. So, yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on with me. I don't know if y'all'd like to see the building of this towers or even the installation of these machines. They're great big old machines. Matter of fact, so that gray machine over there, that's the one that takes the material and turns it back into a raw material that can be run through the extruders that make this stuff. So the machines that make this stuff, this is one of the machines. Now, mind you, there is no electric motor. These things are running like a 400 horsepower electric motor sits on that pedestal. But you can see all the heater bands that go all the way down. This thing is like 19 feet long, I think, from this end to that end. But basically it feeds those BBs into that hopper right there and runs it down that screw and spits it out the other end, and big blowers make that big bubble that goes in the picture earlier. And you see the raw materials. We have a whole bunch here. These are all these are bad, have to be rerun. These all have moisture in them or something wrong that they have to be rerun through the processor and turned back into pellets again. But as you can see, we got a whole bunch of it. And ooh, this one feels real wet. Another one. It's weird because some of them come out as little, see, like these are little white, look like gravel almost. Their weight and their consistency is different. It's wild. Neat industry, definitely a neat industry. Look at these, they look like almost like crystal. So that's what I've been up to. Oh, I picked myself up a new milling machine. So I don't know much about it. It says Edison across the front of it, but looks like a Bridgeport knockoff. I'm kind of excited to get this thing up and cleaned up and go and see what we got here. Finally have me one with a quill. There's a sheet of 1/2 inch plate. Something like 4x4 by 1/2 inch wall. So anyway, so yeah, you see what I'm doing. Drop a comment if there's any interest in seeing more about it, or I'll drop in some excerpts, some short videos here at the end of this video on those plastic machines running and extruding plastic. But so yeah, for the time being, yeah, let me know if there's any of this stuff you guys would like seeing. Maybe I can try to get some video of it. Till then, this is where I'll be. So I'll try to get some videos up soon. Like I said, welding table coming up, milling machine, got to clean it up. Jesus, I suck at camera work, you know. This is what hinders me from doing this, is the camera work. Anyway, got a welding table, the milling machine down there. We got to get going. I still have a lot to build on these. Matter of fact, I've got, actually I said 6 of these machines. They want 12 of these machines running in this 120 foot. So basically, if you see the, spin around with you guys, you see the beam right there, and then the next beam is right there. These beams are 25 foot apart, and they want 2 machines per bay, so they're calling it a bay in between each one of these beams. So I got to go all the way down this shop and build towers like this all the way down. Ought to be interesting. So anyway, yeah, let me know if there's some of that stuff you'd like to see. In the meantime, appreciate you checking in, and I'll get the 2x72 belt grinder build, the table build, stuff like that will be coming here hopefully next couple weeks. And till then, stay cool.